Alright, hey everyone. So I want to talk about a WNBA game that happened on Thursday, May 25th, and we had the Phoenix Mercury defeating Minnesota Lynx. And one thing that caught my attention right off the bat is recognizing the date, May 25th, and talking about Minneapolis. If you don't have amnesia, that should make you recall George Floyd dying on May 25th in Minneapolis. But that's not exactly what I want to talk about. I want to talk about how this game was perfectly aligned with the Phoenix coach, Vanessa Nygaard, paying tribute to Brittney Griner's return home. And what I mean by that is Vanessa Nygaard, if you look at her home record right now, she picked up her 12th win all time, and she stayed on 8 losses, so a lot like 12-8, right? And again, this is her home record. And so, recalling Brittney Griner in her supposed detainment, she came home on December 8th, a lot like 12-8, and this was when she came home. So for Vanessa Nygaard to get her home record to be 12-8, how perfect, right? And I want to speak on this a little bit. I mean, don't ever forget this tweet that Phoenix Mercury put out. They put, of all days, especially today, #WeAreBG. And we've saw all along that we knew about WeAreBG equals 128. So when this news broke, I was like, oh my gosh, of course she comes home on December 8th. And, and they're clearly showing you that they recognize the date numerology. I mean, think about that. They put out this themselves. And yeah, it had date numerology at 42 for number 42 to come home. But what they should have put was, of all days, especially today, #WeAreBG, #BG was detained 42 weeks. Because if you look at it, you'll see that from her detainment, February 17th, 22, to when she came home on December 8th, 22, it was exactly 42 weeks. But nobody is recognizing that in the headlines. Everybody in the headlines is recognizing it's 294 days. Again, like this is an example. If you just punch in 294 and Brittney Griner, you're going to see that everybody's recognizing how many days she was detained, but nobody's recognizing how many weeks, right? Because maybe that would just be too obvious to help people wake up a little bit. I mean, but just think about this. So you have Brittney Griner coming home on a 42 date numerology. She wears number 42. She was drafted on Jackie Robinson Day in 2013, April 15th, 2013. That's Jackie Robinson Day in the MLB, whenever they always wear the number 42 in his honor because he was number 42. And, they did the same thing for Brittney Griner last year in the WNBA All-Star Game. She wasn't present for it, but everybody wore the number 42 in her honor. And then just looking at her dates, if you want to go back and see from her WNBA draft date, exactly 42 days after that, she gets her WNBA debut, and that was on May 27th, 2013. If you want to look that up, it's all facts. I mean, this just shows you like how scripted her career is, and just how scripted and like sickening that it was 42 weeks that she supposedly was detained, but nobody's recognizing it. And okay, so getting back to the game with Vanessa Nygaard becoming 12-8 at home, that wasn't the only thing that stuck out, because Vanessa Nygaard, her birthday is March 13th, 1975. And so if you ran to her upcoming birthday of next year from the date of this game on May 25th, I want to show you that it was a span of 294 days, or exactly 42 weeks, again, because they're equivalent to each other. But I mean, just to see that she even had the perfect alignment for how long Brittney Griner was detained, and then her becoming 12-8, just like the date that Brittney Griner comes home. Like, is that not significant? But I mean, that's not all with this. And speaking of like how they were playing against Minnesota Lynx, well, if you look up at you can go to acrosstimeline.com. This is like where all the WNBA stats are, and I know they're legit because they always line up perfectly to what the WNBA puts out on the screens and everything, pregame, all that. So Minnesota Lynx, this was an away game for them, right? So if you look at their all-time away wins, they stayed on 181 wins. And what's 181, right? The 42nd prime number. So, I mean, perfect in all different ways, tributing to Brittney Griner, but especially by Vanessa Nygaard. I mean, especially just, it wasn't an away record that she got 12-8. For it to be a home record, just to hit just like how she came home on 12-8, too perfect. And I know that's not going to be the last virtual we see with Brittney Griner this year. All right, anyways, we'll leave it there. See ya.